How's it going, good people? I'd like to welcome you guys back to the pop-up gallery. We got another exciting episode here for you guys. It's the first time in a few weeks that I haven't done fan art for something. No, this time I have something else planned. Currently working on a top secret project. So secret that I'm telling you guys about it right now. But I wanted to work on some promotional art for it. So today we're gonna be drawing an undead samurai. Or we're gonna be doing our best to anyway. I honestly have very little experience with drawing armor, so I will be heavily using reference. But I'm very excited for this drawing. I want it to be something very stylized. I want to keep the drawing itself mostly black and white, honestly, so the focus is definitely going to be the line art. And we might attempt something different with the shading at the end. Don't quote me on that, we're hours away from that. So yeah, honestly, this one I'll probably dip in and out to talk about what exactly I'm doing if I have any notes on the art. But with the subject matter being sort of secret, I can't really talk too much about what I'm doing, so it's mostly gonna be me drawing, which is cool. So let's hop into it. Alright, so that's kind of the roughed out positioning that I want. I'm already very excited for this drawing. I think some of the biggest challenges is definitely going to be drawing the armor. And those little nubs down kind of behind him to the right there is supposed to be his hand on his blade. So that's going to be a little bit tough to get in there, I think. To get the hand proportions right so it looks like, you know, it's kind of further from camera. But we'll see what we can do. Okay, not too shabby. Guess it's time to get going on a little spiky headdress thing that goes on the front of the helmet. I'm actually kind of stoked that this is somewhat different than the usual stuff I end up drawing. It's hard for me not to lean in heavily on anime type stuff, as it really is just what I got used to drawing over the years. I probably mentioned this before, but it was Dragon Ball Z that originally got me into drawing. I drew a lot of Pokemon stuff for a little bit. I did a comic for a while called Pokemon. I mentioned it in a previous one of these pop-up galleries, but it was where me and my friend Todd got sucked into a video game called Pokemon, and it was Pokemon and Digimon had kind of fused together. It was a digital world, but you caught them in Pokeballs. It was great. Definitely not derivative in any way, shape, or form. But anime really was what got me inspired. I might even draw something from Pokemon Pokemon one day, if you guys are into it. I remember my parents tried to hide Pokemon from me. The concept of Pokemon in the 90s, I commend them, because that must have been insanely difficult to hide it for as long as they did. But somebody got me a Pokemon card for one of my birthdays, and the love affair began. It was a full deck, but it was the Vaporeon card that I fucking fell in love with. From there, started watching a lot of Pokemon, started to watch a lot of Digimon after that. Of course, graduated up to Yu-Gi-Oh! And then came Dragon Ball Z. Started drawing a lot of Dragon Ball Z fan art. And like I mentioned before, I started drawing Pokemon. But that wasn't the only comic I drew, no. I had one that I called North Park, straight up rip-off of South Park, but it was based in Canada, and everyone was polite and didn't swear. North Park was the ultimate cringe. Cartman, and no, I didn't change his name, would say, "Gosh dang it, you killed Kenny, you poop face." C'est magnifique. However, North Park was short-lived in the wake of my Sonic fanfiction comic. You heard correctly. Christine Chandler wasn't the only one making Sonic fanfiction back in the mid-2000s. I just didn't really have much access to the internet, or a scanner. But yeah, I made Sonic fanfiction for quite some time. Probably only like 6 issues that were all about 10 pages a piece. I honestly wish I knew where they were. I'm sure it's in my parents' storage at their place. That'd be fun though, right? If we did a pop-up gallery episode where I redrew a bunch of the art that I did as a kid and teenager. Maybe not a bunch of it, maybe just some of it, but I think that'd be a good time. Let me know if you're into that in the comments. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get right back at this real hard. A little more detailing in the helmet, finish the side here, and then move into the body. Let's go! Before I move on to these kind of like neck guard things that kind of come in around the sides, I'm noticing that a lot of the drawings that people have done, they have the top shell the furthest on the outside, and then the next one is inside, and then the next one is inside, and then the next lowest one is on the most inner layer. But all the actual photographs of the helmets have the lowest layer on the outside, and it works its way in as it goes higher. I'm kind of torn now, because I'm sure the real helmets are that way because of functionality or just how it was manufactured, like how they put it together. But I think it might be more aesthetically pleasing to have it kind of work almost like a tiered tree thing, you know? It is also easier to draw starting with the top one the furthest on the outside. It's interesting. Yeah, all the drawings are the opposite of the actual photos. Yeah, just thought that was interesting. Okay, so here's my samurai guy, just about to get started doing the shading and such, and then some very minor coloring. I have an idea, and you guys will see what'll happen. And before we move on to the shading, I just wanted to mention one of the texturing techniques I used. All the rope kind of stuff here. I was stoked when I kind of figured out this almost zebra-like pattern, where you can come in several times, and then kind of balance it out by coming back in the opposite direction. It almost almost looks better if you don't have a specific pattern to it. If you feel like you're coming in too much from one side, maybe cut right through. But this randomized, almost alternating back and forth and leaving gaps of like a little bit of negative space also helps too. Makes it feel a little more organic, I think. If you guys draw yourselves, let me know any texturing techniques that you think this could benefit from down in the comments below. Without further ado, let's get to the part that I'm always excited for. That's the shading and effects. Midnight, sun's up, I don't really want to fight the daylight. If you moved on to the fucked up bed. And several hours later, there he is in all his glory, the Undead Samurai. We've even gotten alternative coloring here. To be completely honest, there might be a few tweaks I make for the final project, but you guys will see in due time if you subscribe to the channel. It'd absolutely mean the world to me if you did so. We do pop-up gallery videos every other Friday, but every single Monday we have syntax, and every Wednesday you get some gaming content. You can't beat that, right? So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Pop-Up Gallery. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.